Hey Sky fam, it's your girl Ariel Rose and welcome back to my channel. Now I know I have said I was going to give you this video for a minute and I am sorry that it has taken me this long, but I'm about to teach y'all 3 methods for learning your PAs, your announcements for when you go to flight attendant training. Now, not every airline requires you to have them memorized, but my airline did. There may be others that do, and so this is for you, so you can go to training and actually feel confident. I speak so much on how you have to go through training like, I'm a flight attendant, I got this, not to be like overzealous or anything like that, but to be able to go in and feel like, okay, I can do this, I can conquer this, I'm a flight attendant, right? The third method is frankly the best method to me, so make sure you stick to the end to get that method. It truly is a lifesaver. I promise y'all, I did so much research on how to memorize lines. I remember being in like plays when I was a kid and it being so easy to remember lines. But y'all, I got this packet and I was like, how do I remember this? The announcements that many of y'all will go through training with now are literally different than the ones I did because they're constantly changing when we have new updates. But the only announcement you have to worry about is the exact one that they sent you. Even if it changes while you're in training, don't worry about that until you're back on the line. What is sent to you is what you'll have to recite when you go into test for it. The testing for it happens pretty early on in the training process, so I highly suggest going to training having it memorized. I really wouldn't wait till you're already there to start trying to memorize it. It is a lot. While you may not have to have it directly verbatim every single one at the beginning of training, you will by the end of it. It'll be verbal, you will have to say it like how you say it on a plane, for real. Like on the intercom, just, welcome to Soaring Airlines. That's gonna be the airline y'all are all hired by in this video, is Soaring Airlines. I'll share everything I tried, everything. And clearly I'm hired, so I memorize them, okay? I will share everything that I tried with you and you can figure out what best works for you, okay? So let's get into it. Number 1, you're gonna need a pen and paper. And this is literally for the method, not just to take notes, but hey, you can do it for both. Okay, so the first method I used to try to learn is something I used when I was younger and I was like in like plays and stuff. So I would write down every line of the announcement, every single line. So let's just say that at Soaring Airlines, the beginning of your welcome announcement, thank you for choosing to fly with Soaring Airlines. We're excited to get you to your destination today. On today's flight, we'll be taking you from Atlanta to Miami. I'd write down every single sentence, and as I'm writing it, I'm saying it. Thank you for choosing Soaring Airlines. On today's flight, we'll be taking you from Atlanta to Miami. Like, I'm gonna go line for line, and once I can not look at the paper and say it without any materials, that's when I add on the next line. This is totally random, guys. This is nobody's announcement. Soaring Airlines does not exist. This is for the example. So once I have down, thank you for choosing Soaring Airlines. Today we'll be taking you from Atlanta to Miami. Once I have that completely down, then I will start writing, we hope to safely get you to your destination. I started using this method and this helped me with my personal welcome announcements, but when it got to the other announcements, it wasn't as helpful. And so I started to scrap that method. So if this method works for you, that is great. It might work for some announcements and not others like they did for me. It's okay, but you can give that one a try. Second method is just to find somebody that you can go back and forth with and say it verbally. This can be your friend, your roommate, your mama, your daddy, your boyfriend, anybody that you can literally just say it back and forth with. Someone that will sit with the announcement in front of them and be like, nope, stop, start over. And it's not for you to start at that line. You got to start from the top every time that you mess up. Yeah, it's not easy, but it works. Days before training, I was with my mom and I used her for this. And even when I got to training, there were a few of my classmates that I was able to do this with. I did this every night from the night we got there. The night you get to training, the night before you start training. We were together in groups doing these announcements from the night we got there. Going over information as well, but this was one of the main things that we were going over. So saying it back and forth to someone, whether it's on FaceTime, whether it's in person, it does not matter, just over the phone, just someone that you can say the announcements to and they know you have to say them verbatim. So if you go, thank you for choosing to fly with Soaring Airlines. We're going to Miami. No, they're gonna be like, nope, start over. Thank you for choosing to fly with Soaring Airlines. Today we'll be taking you from Atlanta to Miami. You keep going and going and going. The main point of saying it with someone is that you have to say it out loud and that someone is holding you accountable for when you mess up. Because sometimes if we're working on it by ourselves, we'll be like, let me just keep going, I'll get back to it later. No. And frankly, every single class is going to have their own like Facebook group or group message before you even get to training usually. If you go on Facebook and you already have a training class, like you have a class number, I'm sure somebody from your class has already created a Facebook group. Go into the Facebook group and ask one of them if anybody's willing to get on a phone call, get on FaceTime, get on a Zoom meeting, whatever, and they're able to sit and listen to you, and you'll do the same for them. That way it's someone that's actually like in your class. You might be able to get to know somebody before you even go to training, have a little study buddy, and it's, you know, it's reciprocal. And it's not someone that's getting sick of hearing your announcements. Information has been helpful already. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. We are super close to getting to 5,000 in the Sky Fam, so please make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button. Method number 3 is a mixture of the first two methods, but it's a gold mine, y'all. It's really the best thing that I have ever used to ever memorize anything. And this is not sponsored. I'm so serious. It's chef's kiss, like really the best tool. It's called Memorize. It's an app. That's all it is. It's an app called Memorize. I'll put up a picture of the app icon, and I'm going to go through what it's like to use the app. I'm gonna show you a screen recording, but before we get into it, let me try to explain this to you, and then I'll show you an example. The best way to use this app is to copy the whole PA from the digital file that's sent to you. You're gonna be emailed a long, thorough packet of everything from your schedule, from what to wear, to abbreviations to know, to these announcements. You're going to get so much in your pre-packets. I get this question all the time. When do you get the packet? Should you study the packet? How much information's in the packet? I promise 90% of the questions that y'all ask me about training specifically is in the packet. That's why I'd be like, wait for the packet. Copy the whole PA and paste it into this app. Now, usually if there's different aircrafts, it'll show that in the announcement. So just delete it. Delete it to give one type. Being tested on it, you're gonna be tested on a specific aircraft. At least that's how we did it. If other airlines do it a different way, but they'll give you one of our aircrafts and say this announcement. So then you know how many flight attendants are on that aircraft, you know how many rafts are on that aircraft, you know how many doors is on that aircraft, okay? It's all, at least for us, in the announcements given to you when you're going to training, it'll have all of those specifications lined out in the announcement already. I suggest deleting all the additional information and leaving just one option. So let's say we have a 777. My airline doesn't fly a 777, but let's say it's a 777. There's a 777, a 737, and a CRJ 200. Delete the CRJ option, delete the 737 option, and just leave the 777. So when you get to your emergency announcement and you say, please look at the safety information card in front of you for our Boeing 777, you can just say Boeing 777. You don't have to say Boeing 777 or Boeing 737 or CRJ 200. That's what I'm saying. Just delete the additional options and leave one. That way it's easier for you to learn and rehearse, okay? So once you delete all of those additional options, delete any additional punctuation. Now I'm saying this because in the app, there is a typing phase where you type out the sentence similarly to how you write it out. Frankly, I think writing it is better than the typing method, but a lot of the other methods that's in the app. The app really has so many ways in one place for you to learn these announcements, and that's why it works so well. But delete the additional punctuation. So when you're going through it being tested, texting it out, that you're not dinged or you get a bad score because you forgot there was a parenthesis somewhere. Okay, so those are my biggest tips. Copy it directly from your digital packet, paste it into Memorize, delete it down to one plain option, and delete any additional punctuation. Now let's go to the tutorial.
Start off by making a premium profile. This allows you to have access to the entire app, and it's only 99 cents for the entire month, which is the amount of time you'll be in training, so it's completely worth it. Once you finally have the app, you can go ahead and copy and paste your announcement into it, just like I was saying before. This is an announcement that I made up for the overwing exit. So as you can see, it has those 3 aircraft examples that I said earlier. So I'm just deleting those so I can practice it just saying 1 aircraft, and that also deleted some of the punctuation as well. These are all the games that they have in there, and genuinely, they really help you memorize it. So this one game of Scramble allows you to mix around the options until it's in the perfect order of how you would say the PA. So in this example, I got a few right, I got a few wrong, and then actually gives you a grade once you hit done. Let's say this was your first attempt and you got 50%, 50 right, 50 wrong. So you can just go back, redo it until you make 100%. I do suggest trying to get 100% on each game before you move on to the next method. If you want to try out all of the games first to see which ones resonate best with you, then that's an option as well. But once you see the ones that you really like that really help you actually memorize your PAs, then keep repeating those until you get 100%. So this time around, I got 100%, go me, and now I can move on to the next one. I do actually like this one. I used this a lot in the room when I would just try to say it aloud by myself and I didn't have anyone to rehearse with. You can choose to either have letters disappear or words disappear. This just makes sure that you really have it memorized. You can choose as many letters or words that you want to disappear until you have this method down. This method is actually one that actors use and one that I Googled to actually see how to remember lines. It's the theory of writing the first letter of the word and being able to memorize basically an entire passage or PA just off of knowing the first letter that's going to come next. So with this game, you'll get some of the phrases, some of the words in the PA. The other ones you will have to memorize, as the app is called, and fill those in. Remember to not be too hard on yourself, especially when you're first getting started. If you miss a few, that is okay. You have to just keep practicing. This is another option where you can have it read out to you. I didn't use this much, but hearing it back to you might help some of you, so this is also another option. The speak option is very useful, especially if you don't have anyone to practice with. Here, you will just say the PA as well as you know it, and then you'll also have an option to edit it before you're graded on it. As you can see, I definitely set it off, and this would not be a passing version, but this is where you could edit it to make it right. As you can see, I didn't pass this one, so this is one I would redo. This would be a really good one to redo because you really have to know it just to say it without any materials, which is exactly the place you want to be. This is the final game or memorization method. Hands down, I think that this is the best way to learn your PAs. It's only going to cost you 99 cents. I wish I knew about this before I got to training. I only found about it when I got to training, but it strengthened my PAs a ton within like 48 hours. Within the first 2 days of me being in training, I got so much better at my PAs just because of this app. My final pieces of advice are: don't feel the need to say it fast. Say it at a pace that you're comfortable with. Fill in any lines like flight attendant names with Susie, Johnny, Joe, whoever, and make sure you're saying it out loud.
Memorize by Heart is probably one of the best apps and best method to me to learn all of your PAs. I really hope this information was really helpful to you. I'm so excited for any of you that are heading to training soon, that are starting your flight attendant journey, that got your CJOs. If you've recently got a CJO, heading to training soon, or recently got on the line, make sure to leave a comment so that we can support you throughout your process. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and see y'all next time.